We put this time aside every Monday morning because it's been a long-time friend, 40 years. 40 years. And on top of that, one of the most famous defense attorneys in the country. In fact, Bernie, you remember Friday, my good buddy Kevin Canessa joined us?
Yes, I do. He's great.
He was great. New Jersey Observer talking about the landfill that Phil Murphy is getting paid for.
In Kearney, New Jersey.
That's right. So Canessa sends me this. Tacopina was brilliant on 48 hours this week, and his client is definitely innocent. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but Joe was on 48 hours.
No, I missed that. No.
A couple days ago, and he's got a very, very big case. So let's start with that superstar, Joe Tacopina. Even my friends are telling me you were brilliant on 48 hours.
How could it be 40 years when I'm only 38 years old?
Don't worry about it. We were 13. We were in 5th grade. We were in the 5th grade. What's the matter with you? It is 40 years to be exact. So Canessa said you were great on 48 hours. Is that true?
I mean, yeah, it's true. To be modest, yeah. It was spectacular. I mean, I made the show. It was clear.
Well, that's what he said. So for people that don't know what it was about and what your client is being accused of, what's going on with that?
Horrible, horrible case. The Italian government actually hired me. The Italian government itself hired me to look into this case for wrongful conviction of a guy in Florida, a guy who basically was one of the co-creators of, the X Games on ESPN, an Italian windsurfing champion, this guy named Chico Forti, in Miami. Basically, some guy was killed, the guy who owned one of these, ritzy hotels in Ibiza, Spain. And I've never seen it. When I was asked to look at the case, a million people say they've been wrongly convicted of murder, okay? And probably most of them have not been. But, so I took a heavy dose of skepticism into the review of the case. When I looked at it, I read the transcript, and I swear, guys, my reaction was, okay, there must be missing some pages of the transcript where the evidence is, because there's no evidence against this guy, so how could he have been convicted? It was an absolute perfect storm of some of the worst lawyering I've ever seen, some real dirty tricks on behalf of the police, some, I think, unethical conduct on behalf of law enforcement, some games played by the prosecutors, canceling witnesses at the last second overseas. This guy was innocent. He was innocent. He should have been. And even on the appellate process, this poor guy, he had lawyers who filed his appeals late, and they were denied because they were filed late. I mean, here's a guy who's been in jail for 20 years when there's absolutely no evidence that he committed the crime. As a matter of fact, the prosecutors say, the guy who was killed was shot in the back of the head in some remote beach in Miami. The prosecutors say, well, this guy, Forti, he wasn't the triggerman. He just dropped him off to some parking lot to be picked up by his eventual killer, and he was subsequently killed by somebody else. They don't know who it was. They don't know why somebody else killed him, but they just know Tico must have known when they dropped him off he was going to be killed. I mean, that's this case.
Oh, please.
We had a girl on 48 hours crying, saying she knew he was innocent, and she wished she hadn't convicted him, but she was only 20, and the other girls pressured her into doing it. I mean, it's really one of the most upsetting cases I've ever been involved in.
Wow. Listen,
sounds like a worse job than Marshall Clark, if that's possible.
Yeah, in reverse.
Right.
Was the prosecutor.
I don't know.
Darden were the prosecutors.
You get involved with people like that, Joe, I'd fear for my life a little bit. But you're a strong guy and a courageous one, I might add. Unlike this Michael Cohen guy, Joe Tacopina, he's on his way to prison, and most of the headlines talk about how he arranged a hush money scheme and all that stuff. But the truth of the matter is that he's guilty of all kinds of crimes, bank fraud, tax violations, all types of stuff, if I'm not mistaken, Joe.
Oh, no, you're not mistaken. I mean, he's pled guilty to a lot of things. He's admitted guilt in other things that he hadn't had to plead guilty to. I mean, look, this guy was a train wreck, and you could just the way he conducted himself in the early days of the administration was, he was looking to basically rip anyone's head off who said anything bad about the president. Now he's the guy who's saying the worst things about the president. But it is a case where, first of all, I want to note he did get his hair done before he was going to prison.
Yes, he did.
That was important. He actually went to a famous barber.
You believe that?
A couple $100. Went to Barney's for lunch. You could see how he's taking this very hard. very, very traumatized him and his family. He's saving up his money for, I guess, a rainy day, but that's unbelievable. Look, he's going away. And I've read also that, some cushy little, he's going to Otisville and have a nice time of it. No, he's not going to. I mean, they have a rigorous work schedule there. I mean, look, it's not a state prison. It's a federal prison. It's a federal prison camp where, most white-collar offenders go who have sentences below a certain number of years. Not for violent offenders, obviously. But, he's got a bit of a bullseye on his back there. I mean, because of his celebrity status, so to speak, celebrity with, air bunnies around it. But it's something that it's not going to be a fun thing for him. I mean, here's a guy who thought he was on top of the world less than a year ago. The most powerful man to the most powerful man in the world. Yeah. And now he's a federal prisoner, and it's not a fun thing.
Well, yeah, it's funny because right, for folks who have never gone to prison, it's like, oh, he's going to a camp. He's going. I said the same thing. I mean, I was talking to Craig Carton, my buddy, last week, and he actually wants to go there because I've got some program for him that's going to work out. So I know prisoners would rather go there, but the truth is they're going to be separated from their families and their loved ones, and it's not going to be a day at the beach. It may have tennis courts, but you don't get 9 hours to play every single day.
No, you work. You have assignments, you have jobs, and everything else. Look, in your free time, when it's time after dinner, when it's time to go to sleep, you can do other things like work out. You could read.
Right.
But it's not Attica. Okay.
Right.
It's certainly not that. But on the other hand, you're still in jail. You still can't enjoy the amenities and the freedoms that we all take for granted every day, like going home to see our kids. Turning on a Met game or doing all the things.
Oh God, I think I'd rather go to jail than watch a Met game.
Yeah. That was probably as bad at this point. That was probably as bad as that.
Right.
That could be considered a sentence. That could be considered a sentence.
I know.
162 Met games every year.
Oh, that's terrible. 16 and 18. So listen, a big story that is getting a lot of pub today, Joe, I know you're all over this one too. 6 jail guards have been indicted for illegal visitor strip searches. They initially said they didn't do it. Now I guess they're saying they did do it. Innocent women, I guess, who came to visit these jails were having their cavities searched. What is going on here? What's the story all about?
It's a very odd thing, and we've tried to look into it a little bit because I've represented some correctional officers before. But in this case, the 6 officers who have been indicted on felony and misdemeanor charges are all females, and apparently they were saying that they weren't doing these cavity searches, but they were. So I don't know if you had a little situation here where they were maybe going a little too far with the cavity searches. Maybe the cavity search lasted longer than they should have lasted. I don't know, but they falsified reports, and it's something very strange going on there. And we're going to see. I mean, they've been indicted by a grand jury, so this is going to be when this unfolds. I'm sure there's more to the story than meets the eye because it just doesn't. At this point, doesn't make any sense.
I guess the implication is that they're lesbians.
I guess.
I mean,
either that or I don't know. Thieves, I don't know what.
Or just idiots.
Exactly.
Maybe they were doctors.
Who knows? Well, listen, Joe, you're always great. Thank you. A lot of fun here today, Joe, and every single Monday. So continued success with all your cases, and we'll do it again next Monday, buddy. Thank you.
See you boys next week.
Love you.